We're looking at practice clips from minicamp and OTAs. Today, we're looking at the Chicago Bears, getting a good look at Caleb Williams. We're going to watch him throw the rock around, work through some drills and everything else. But before we dig in, you need to click that subscribe button right now because training camp will be here soon. You want to see what your favorite players are doing on the field, those rookies, those quarterback battles, and those guys you're drafting in fantasy football. Click that button. Stay and know what these players are doing behind the scenes and stop missing out. Today we're looking at Caleb Williams. I got 5 minutes of clips like what we always do. We'll loop it and keep talking ball. But there's a lot to discuss here because the Bears have been putting in some work this offseason. They added to the offensive line. They made some changes. New coaching staff, new offense. They made some big moves in the draft. Luther Burden fell to him in the second round. They got Colson Lovell in the first round. We're seeing what they can do for this team their first season, but we want to see them in training camp and see how they're performing. But Odunze going into his second season as well. Odunze had a good target share last year, had a good average depth of target, had some moments where he's getting double-digit targets last year. And for a rookie season, it wasn't bad. Can he come to his own this season? Is the top-flight second-year player, top-flight former rookie, drafted high in the first round is what I'm saying. Is he going to develop? Is he going to take over? This is a new coaching scheme, new offense, new strategies coming in. Coming from Detroit, we're looking at an offense here being implemented that we could see the passing game evolve. We could definitely see that. And we got Caleb Williams, a big-time 5-star quarterback that went to Oklahoma. And coming out of high school, he noted that he was going to take Spencer Rattler's job. He said that in an interview. It was after the fact, but he noted that. He took it over. Spencer Rattler had a bad run of games. He took it over. Then followed Lincoln Riley over to the USC. He looked good there as well. Had his moments too. He did have some down games in the back end of his final year there at USC. But we get selected high in the draft. We had a good rookie season for a quarterback. They had ups and downs, downs and ups. But for a rookie season, wasn't too bad considering the offensive line. Keenan Allen's not there anymore. Now we're looking at Luther Burden if he can step up as a rookie. We're looking at what Odunze can do. We got DJ Moore. I look for DJ Moore to get peppered with targets. We're seeing if he can step up compared to what we saw during his rookie season. We're looking at with Caleb Williams, what he can do. He's always been a big-time talent. He's mobile. And if you want to see clips of his mobility, go back and look at some of those clips back at Oklahoma. Go look at those. We've been watching him on the channel for a long time. This is a big-time prospect here. He caught some flack after some of those losses at USC. Painted fingernails, all that stuff. Kind of similar to what you hear about Shadur, about people just giving him flack. But this is a quarterback with a good arm. He likes to push it downfield. He likes to be aggressive downfield. You got DeAndre Swift, but a big running back they added in the draft, cheap in the draft. I mean later in the draft, later rounds, is Kamana guy. And that is a running back that we will be watching throughout the offseason, throughout training camp. But the big question here is, how are we going to look and how are we going to develop with this new coaching staff? Ben Johnson's staff from Detroit, his offense that has been successful. Now we got new weapons. How are we going to look at with this second year with the Chicago Bears, full off season? How is this all going to look? How are we going to materialize? Are we going to take that step forward? Are we going to look a little bit better than our rookie season, or is it blast off? Are we going to need more time to ramp up in this new offense? We patched up the offensive line. That should not or shouldn't be an excuse this year. It better not be. They made some moves. This offensive line should definitely be better, as long as the injuries don't hit. But Caleb Williams should have a cleaner pocket this year to allow him to operate. Odunze, if he takes a step forward, he should be. That's a big-time prospect. We watched him at Washington, Pac-12 After Dark. We called him Midnight Marvin Harrison Jr. over here on the East Coast because those Pac-12 games were at midnight, and he was just getting it done. left and right. We knew he was going to be a big-time prospect, looked good at the combine. He was running his three-cone over and over and over again until midnight. I'm over-exaggerating, but I'm not really, because he kept doing it just to let you know, or just to get his time right. But Odunze is one of those guys that'll put in the work. And now you got Luther Burden. He's a former 5-star recruit as well. And he's a big-time prospect, went to Missouri. The offense really didn't fit him there. We covered his route running in the Missouri practices. He's a very twitched-up wide receiver who's very aggressive. When he got slept on in the draft and fell out of the first round, instead of complaining, he showed like a snippet of him getting after it, working out. He just went straight to work, just started running routes. This is a wide receiver with a lot of dog in him. A lot of dog in him. And he's been banged up a little bit. We're waiting on to see what we're going to get out of him in training camp. We're just waiting from afar. But it's eventually going to come to the moment where he's on the field. And this is a big-time talent. A big-time talent that the Chicago Bears got at a discount. And you can never argue against that. And you got DJ Moore. Big-time prospect from Maryland who's just been in the league. And he's been looking solid. He looked solid with Justin Fields. Caleb Williams can throw off platform. He can push it downfield. The big question is, can we take that step forward? Can we take that step forward in our development? We got all the pieces in place. We got the offense. We added to the offensive line. We got the change in coaching staff that we've been waiting for. The excuses are leaving. The only excuse you got is we're still young in the career. We're learning a new system. But that's going to vaporize soon. That's going to go. That's going to leave. And Caleb Williams got to live up to that 5-star status somewhere down the line. It's going to have to do that. If you want to look for the downside, if you want to look for the bad, I would go to those run of games at USC where it did not look so hot for him. I would go to that. Like, he could end up being volatile. But also, the caveat to that, I'll always argue points back and forth. You're like, what does this guy really think? And that's because that's how I think. That is how I think. Is if you want someone to help you find like a computer to buy or anything, and you want to find the good and the bad, I'll look it up and find it for you, and then you can just address the bullet points. But the caveat to USC is he had a lot to work with, but he didn't have a lot to work with, and he had to make a lot of plays on his own. That's the thing about that as well. This is a quarterback that can play off script, who plays well off script. Like, you can't lock this quarterback down and hope to allow him to hit to his optimal upside. Like, you got to allow him to play free a little bit, because that's how he plays the game. Like, there will be moments where he does not go to that first read, even though you know that first read's won, because he's going to push it downfield. And there's going to be a lot of times where that move ain't the right move. But there's a lot of times he just makes that play. Like, the way he can escape in the pocket, throw off platform, and pushes it downfield. And you got to allow him to have that confidence. He's a very confident player. He's a very confident person in general. And if you strip that away, you harness him, harness his play style, allow him to play in a box, that's going to impact him. But this is a quarterback prospect that once he gets the feel of everything, light's going to turn on and he's going to get it. The opposite of that take is light doesn't turn on. Light doesn't turn on. But once he turns that light on, once he gets that comfortability, once he gets that feel where he can play off script and just play in flow state, because this is a flow state player that everything has to be there for him, and he has to be just really playing like he's in the backyard. Once we get to that flow state and hanging loose, that's where you're going to see the Caleb Williams, the 5-star quarterback. If we don't get there, if we're in a box, you may not ever see that. You may see snippets of that. But this is a quarterback that really, if you really look at Oklahoma, USC, you look at the downs, you study the ups in his career there, you look at all of it, you can definitely see that where he's hanging loose. He makes some of the most fabulous plays out there. Like, he's got a little bit of that Brett Favre in him per Madden. That's not a comparison, but literally, like, hanging loose, making those big plays happen, showing off the gun, moving around the pocket. We've seen a lot of quarterbacks that like to hang loose, pull the trigger. The thing about that is sometimes it doesn't materialize because they can't hang loose. Things don't come their way. System isn't downloaded appropriately. The mentals aren't there. But if we can get there, you can get a top flight quarterback. That could be this year. That could be this year. That's the thing. We download this offense. We get a good feel. That could be this year. Also, we get some of these prospects stepping up. I'm looking at you, Odunze, for this year. Luther Burden could be a player that sneaks up on you. Luther Burden could be that player that sneaks up on you. And I haven't forgot about Colston Loveland. Very good tight end prospect. I think he fits what this team wants. I think he fits down the seam. I think he's going to fit with Caleb Williams. He's a tight end, though. Give him some grace. Give him some time to develop. Give him time to work in the system. Allow him to get healthy on the field. Allow him to get some time in training camp. When he's out there, we'll have the clips on him. But that is a playmaker that can help him out. So what I'm expecting out of Caleb Williams in training camp is him taking a step forward. Him looking confident. I expect some big plays. I expect some big plays in joint practices and 11-on-11s. But I'm listening at the coaches. I'm listening to those interviews. I'm listening to see if he's turning it around. I want to hear them excited. I'm not just listening to them. I'm watching their mannerisms because coaches lie. It's called coach speak for a reason. They lie to your face. And the only way you can tell what they're saying is through their transactions. Either by starting, sitting, benching, cutting, trading for, drafting. You know what I'm saying. Coaches lie to your face. So I'm watching the coaches like a hawk. I'm watching the clips like a hawk. I'm watching the young wide receivers. Because it makes this offense a little bit ambiguous. It sure does. You see Zickus from Atlanta. I said that name wrong, but I always have said it wrong. Olamide, though. That could be a sneaky play in this offense this year. Olamide could be a sneaky play in this offense. DFS guys, daily fantasy football guys, redraft guys, maybe waiver wire down the line if targets start hitting for a few games. If you're looking at Caleb Williams for fantasy football, if you're playing value at quarterback, this could be it for you. Considering the volume in the offense, it's a gamble. Gamble plays, they sometimes fail, but when they hit. That's the thing about that. And you can also play the waiver wire with quarterbacks as well. If you're going value at quarterback, if you're looking at wide receiver, DJ Moore is going to get a ton of targets. I think DJ Moore is going to have a solid year. I think Odunze has got a lot of upside. That target share last year combined with that ADOT, when we're looking at that best practice, that more likely that's going to continue. Caleb Williams is not a guy that checks it down much. That's the thing about him. I think they had to add that into the offense over time because it was very silent with DeAndre Swift. Like we were making fun of him, then all of a sudden blast off. Like it started clicking. I think they had to really make that note with Caleb Williams last year. Like something had to go on with that because he started getting more work and things started to run more efficiently. Part of that was Swift being better, but also he started getting more targets in the passing game. So it's not like he won't target the running back, but what I'm really saying, he wants to push it downfield. He wants to push it downfield. That is in him. Like I said earlier, he likes to hang loose and have that Brett Favre in him. So that Odunze downfield, getting that ADOT of 12, 13 this year, 11 on the low, those deep targets, and him getting like a 20-ish% target share, that's going to be solid this year. Luther Burden, watch for him. That is a talent. Like, at the low, a very, very good role player at wide receiver, a starter on this team. At the high, could be a cornerstone NFL wide receiver. At the high. I know that's a huge range of outcomes, but that's a talented player. That's a talented player. I think I touched base on everything. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I want to hear about that. Make sure you hit that subscribe button on the way out. One thing for watching. Catch you on the next video.